Last week we saw the project through to the prototype stage with Sector 3, and they were then faced with the knotty problem of marketing the product. That's where Quantum stepped in. Mark, what happened?
When it initially started, they asked us to quote for the fiberglassing work, which we also do. And as we started to talk to them, it became apparent that really the bits that they were good at and wanted to do, which was mostly the stainless steel bit, was different to the bits that we wanted to do, which was the fiberglassing, the marketing and so on. And as we started to talk, it suddenly became apparent that if we were to join forces, then we could use the strengths of both companies in the best possible way.
So the two companies fit together nicely on the one project, but of course the product then has to be slotted somewhere into your range because you're already up and running very much doing this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, really you could say now we've got a sports saloon which is very, very sensible. We've now got the extreme which is probably not very sensible, and we've got a couple of 2+2s in the middle which are somewhere in the middle. So for us, it's a nice range.
You stepped in and said, we are the marketing experts, we're going to bring this thing to market. What are you going to do that's so special? How can you do this?
I think, I mean, the name that Quantum's got is very good to start with. Within the kit car industry, we're known as being at the top of the pile in terms of quality, in terms of turnover, in terms of many other things you'd like to mention. Putting our thought into it and really our stamp of approval, plus our expertise in terms of the fiberglassing bit and sorting out the little bits and bobs that needed sorting, we're going to end up with a fantastic product.
After all of the talking, this is about a real live car, and here it is, sneaking up on it from behind. I think the rear actually looks fantastic, which is a surprise because I didn't. I think it looks like a really good modern, almost European take on perhaps a rather familiar refrain. But they have lent us this. This isn't actually their demonstrator. Quantum's own demonstrator is still under construction. This is the prototype. They said we can have a go, so we're going to. And as with any car of this style, getting in and out is never going to be too easy, but there are worse. Snug in here, but there's plenty of room even for the larger driver. The driving position itself definitely favours those who are long of leg and short of arm. The pedal travel is noticeably long as well, and the steering I would definitely say needs quickening. The rack is taken straight from the donor car. I'd say put a quicker one in. As a drive, it's immense fun. There's loads of power from the 2-litre Pinto, right from 0 revs through the rev range. It's a lovely torquey engine, particularly in such a light car. And as a ride, you can feel a very rigid chassis. The suspension geometry isn't adjustable, so any skittishness that I'm finding in this car is probably down to the adjustable dampers. I'm not sure they're at optimum setting, but this is only a prototype. But above all else, it is, as a car, enormous fun. And it makes a fantastic noise.
Obviously, you must have faith in the product because you wouldn't risk putting your already established name to it if you didn't have that. What appeals to you about it? What do you think makes it a bit special that you're going to be able to market?
I think the main thing about it is the stainless steel monocoque chassis. That is a fantastic piece of engineering as far as I'm concerned. Being monocoque stainless steel, it won't rust, but more importantly, it's twice as rigid as any other 7-type vehicle. Couple that with purpose-made suspension, which has been designed by people used to setting up race cars for suspension. No kind of compromises in terms of trying to use some bits from the Sierra donor car. It's all purpose-made, purpose-designed. It should give the best ride and handling of any similar type of car.
So, out here in the real world, how does it measure up as a proposition? Well, I suppose, as with everything in life, we better start with cost and price. The price of the kit on the road, £6.5 grand, might sound quite a lot for the kit alone, but do bear in mind that for that, all you need to add is your donor, nothing else, which means you're going to be able to put one of these on the road for well under 7 grand, which is a good point. Another good point that it's got in its favour, and that makes it pretty unusual in cars of this kind, is this. At the rear, we've got a lockable boot. Now, I know of no other car of this lightweight kind that offers that kind of practicality and really an extra bit of convenience in using the thing. Also, good points and unique points for it are the way that it's constructed. All the holes in the chassis are pinpointed precisely by laser. This means it will be right first time out of the box. That eradicates a whole load of potential for error. The same with the suspension. The geometry is supplied fixed. It's not adjustable. This means it will be right again first time out of the box. On the suspension, I did find that on this car, perhaps it feels a little unsettled on the road. That's because the only adjustable element are the damps and the shocks. This is a prototype, and I suspect they're not set up perfectly yet, but it's not even at the demonstrator stage, so it would be unfair to criticise the car for that. I'm told that the chassis is incredibly stiff and offers amazing torsional rigidity, so we can't criticise the car on that front. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to set up that last bit right. So as a proposition in the real world, it's going to cost under £7 grand. It's going to be right first time out of the box, and it really is a fresh new take on an old theme, and I think the first time anybody's achieved that, a genuine new modern look at an old theme, and the result makes a lot of sense.